Today we're going to be taking a look at Time Rift, developed by Lightshards Games and out on Steam today. I was kindly provided with a review code for this game, and I also have 3 review codes to give away to you guys. All you have to do is share this video on Instagram and tag at VGTYOR, and I'll pick 3 of you at the end of the day and I'll message you on Insta with your Steam codes. Side note, in order to redeem a Steam code, you have to have Steam. That much should be obvious, but you'd be surprised. Anyway, let's go. For many of us, video games are a form of escapism, a way for us to get away from the daily grind of real life. Well, Time Rift takes that concept and applies it in a much more literal sense. In Time Rift, you play as an ex-hacker turned security tester. You've crossed over from the wrong side of the fence and now you're using your immense hacking skills to do good. Or so you thought. Time Rift is a fast-paced puzzle shooter with a simplistic design, but honestly, the gameplay is anything but. I'm just going to go ahead and say it so you know what you're dealing with right from the start here. Time Rift is a fantastic little game. For me, it encapsulates what solid indie development can be and how to get a lot out of little. So the game starts out with you on your first day of your new job working for megacorp VaultCo. VaultCo is some big corporation that provides a service that stores people's crypto. And your job is to test the resilience of the firewall by trying to hack their servers before the firewall takes you out. Now, of course, this isn't a hacking sim. You don't actually sit there and hack. What Lightshards have done is they've masterfully translated that into a scrolling puzzle shooter. The objective is simple. Just get to the end of the level before the firewall takes you out and collect as much crypto as you can along the way. And the firewall is literally that. It's this purple wall of fire that moves across the screen that you have to outrun, and honestly, it is incredibly stressful, but in that good kind of stressful way, the kind of stress that you want in your video games, not to be confused with frustration. You have these nodes that you can trigger to change the direction of the firewall to help you navigate through the map and buy you more time. The thing is, you can only shoot in the direction you're facing, and therefore choosing which nodes to activate and when is pivotal to you completing the levels. Now that's about as basic as I can get explaining the main premise of the game, but the reality is that's just scratching the surface. As you progress through the 61 levels the game has to offer you, Time Rift gradually throws more and more mechanics at you, making your time with the game increasingly more challenging. But the incline is so gradual that you never feel any real difficulty spikes. The game moves with you. It's almost like the whole game is a crescendo that eases you through its 3-hour campaign. Now, I'm not saying it's not challenging, because there are times in this game where you will genuinely be stumped, especially if you want to collect all the crypto. I'm just saying that despite the surprising amount of mechanics and hazards the game throws your way, Time Rift does a fantastic job of not making them feel overwhelming at any point. Now, I'm not going to spoil the game for you by going through every mechanic Time Rift has to offer. I mean, that's for you to experience. And you can do that for free, potentially, by sharing this video on Insta. But one mechanic I do want to talk about, because I fucking love it, is the fact that you can manipulate time on this game. Now, back in 2008, I fell in love with a game called Braid. Braid was a puzzle platformer that allowed you to manipulate time in various ways in order to get through the levels, in some really interesting ways. Time Rift's time manipulation works in much the same way, and my god, have I been waiting for another game to have mechanics like this since I finished Braid, like 14 years ago. Time Rift is just clicked. Now, Time Rift is a lot more stripped back in terms of visuals than Braid. Well, in terms of anything really. Time Rift is about as basic as it gets to look at. But honestly, don't let that put you off. Time Rift and the developers at Lightshards are an excellent example of a studio that knows its limitations and has set realistic expectations for what can be achieved visually. Time and again I see small indie developers trying to create something that they can't realistically achieve and end up pushing out good ideas but with a subpar experience. Time Rift takes a simple but effective concept and delivers it to you in the plainest way possible, and it works. The game's story is delivered to you effectively as well through surprisingly well-voiced messages sent via a co-worker between each level. And across the 61 levels that the game has to offer, 10 of them are levels designed on progressing the story, where you learn more about your co-workers and VaultCo, and for a 3-hour game, Time Rift packs in a surprisingly gripping story. It's not all positive though. I do have a couple of small gripes with the game. The first being that it's way too short. It's like like 3 hours long, 5 if you're really taking your time with it. And whilst those hours are enjoyable, they're over way too quickly, and there's basically no replayability, which is my second issue. Yeah, you can go back and play through the old levels and collect any crypto you missed, but other than that, there aren't any additional features or alternate game modes unlocked, and it's a shame because the game is genuinely addictive, but it's almost over as soon as it begins. All in all though, I loved playing through Time Rift, be it a short-lived experience. The concept is fantastic, the gameplay is simple yet addictive, the puzzles are well designed and genuinely intense, and the story is one that will keep you gripped. I was let down by the lack of replayability once the short campaign had ended, but my disappointment was all born out of frustration that the game was over because I really wasn't ready to stop playing, and that is a testament to how fun the game actually is. My time with Time Rift was a great time, especially the time mechanic, but I just didn't get enough time with it. Time Rift earns itself a solid 8 out of 10. Thanks for watching, guys, and remember I have 3 codes to give away to my viewers, so please get involved, share the video out on your Instagram, tag @VGTYOR because otherwise I won't know that you've done it, and at the end of the day I'll pick 3 of you, I'll message you on Insta with your codes. As always, like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one.